key to the treasure. Get rich with one piece. Get rich with one piece. Yo, we got Luffy and Zoro, the better the duo. Sanji and Noosa bring out the bankroll. Jekyll Mariah, he rips your soul. Brook and Perona, they cold like a snow globe. Going through the stack like we looking for some crack. Taking y'all to class, man, you better know your math. Call the deck math because he always running black. We don't need no power tools, we just bring the axe. Cause we bout to chop it up. TCG, level up, level up. This is more than beginner's luck. Got so many ribs, they backing up, backing up. Rapping so cold, got the mains froze. Everybody know that the gang goes. Laws of the land don't make me repeat. We the next king. Getting rich with one piece. Get rich with one piece. The piece of the cause, the key to the treasure. Get rich with one piece. 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 The piece of the cause, the key to the treasure. Get rich with one piece. Get rich with one piece. Yo, we got Luffy and Zoro, the better the duo. Sanji and Noosa bring out the bankroll. Jekyll Mariah, he rips your soul. Brook and Perona, they cold like a snow globe. Going through the stack like we looking for some crack. Taking y'all to class, man, you better know your math. Call the deck math because he always running black. We don't need no power tools, we just bring the axe. Cause we bout to chop it up. TCG, level up, level up. This is more than beginner's luck. Got so many ribs, they backing up, backing up. Rapping so cold, got the mains froze. Everybody know that the gang goes. Laws of the land don't make me repeat. We the next king. Getting rich with one piece. Get rich with one piece. The piece of the cause, the key to the treasure. Get rich with one piece. Get rich with one piece. Get rich with one piece. Get rich with one piece.
Oh my god. I am also tired. Sorry, I was trying to be on mute for a while because my printer, because I printed something way earlier today, and I was printing the orders for that I typically do, and they just weren't here, and I was kind of busy running around all day, and didn't have any idea why the hell it wasn't working, or why it didn't print. And my printer was off and doesn't turn itself off, which is one thing that I like about this printer, because I had just gotten the printer replaced like a month ago or something, a couple weeks ago. And I replaced my printer, and this one doesn't turn off, which the old one did. So anyways, it was kind of weird, but I forgot that I had turned the power off to my office earlier today, because in the closet, it's a closet where I do my like put my orders together, and when I have all my stuff, there's a fan in there. There's like a vent, some sort of vent. I don't know why. I don't know if it was, I think that room might have been used as like a cat litter box or something. Like it's never smelled bad or anything like that. But like in the door to the closet, you can see that at the bottom, like where a cat door potentially would be. It was, I guess, cut out and then like fixed, because you can see it. Obviously, it's solid, but you can see that there was a place that was cut out and then repaired. And so I don't know. And then there was the fan in there, because it probably smelled like fucking cat shit and piss. But yeah, it's just, and what sucks about it is that when you turn the light on, it turns both, because it's a closet, right? It's not anything super fancy, but so it doesn't have like multiple switches or anything like that, which I'm sure they could have done. But when you flip the light switch, the fan comes on, and it's pretty loud. And it's been like that for years. We've lived in this house for like 3 years at this point. But I wasn't in my closet that often. I literally never went in there before. But now, since I'm doing my orders in there, spending a lot of time in there, it's just so fucking annoying having the fan going off nonstop. It is, and it's loud as fuck. It was a loud as fuck fan. So anyways, I told myself for a while I was going to try and, I'm sure it was like connected some kind of way. So I spent today doing that. Long story short, a little bit. I mean, it didn't take very long. It literally, they like installed like some outlet kind of deal. It was, there's like an outlet up in the ceiling next to where the fan is. So I just unplugged that and then set everything back up. So, and now I can turn the light on without the fan going off, which is so nice. It is very nice. And I did a bunch of stuff today. Today was a busy day. But I typically try and like to make my weekends like not doing shit, like not going out doing shit. But I typically like to get shit around the house done. Is my goal. But yeah. All right. Well, I just got an email about that college basketball Luffy that I bought, and I really hate that this person put that in here, because they say ships now in the description, and I bought this like 4 or 5 days ago, and it hasn't shipped until just right now. And what they have to do is eBay has this system where they send it to an authenticator first to make sure that your shit is real, and so they ship it to the authenticator, and then the authenticator will ship it directly to you. So whatever, so it'll it's not like a rush or anything like that, but it'll take a couple days. It says expected delivery date is the 12th, so about 2 weeks from now is when I should be expecting that. Yeah, but nothing else crazy. Yeah, I mean, I get that. They want to try and prevent like people sending fakes and people getting ripped off. Like that's probably a very very big deal for eBay. So I get that and I understand it, but the thing that pisses me off is the person who selling the car, in their description they put ships now in it, and they fucking waited 4 days, 4 or 5 days before they shipped it. Even shipped it to the other place, because if they would have shipped it immediately, like they were, like they were, I don't know what the word is, like they were insinuating they would do with that post, it could have potentially already been to the authenticator, and we could have been looking at a week from now. But oh well, it is what it is. And as soon as I get it, it's gonna go to Dallas anyways, our Plano, Texas anyways. I don't know why I keep talking about Dallas every time. I think PSA might be in Dallas. Maybe that's why. But what do we have today? We got some packs. Today will be a quick stream. Just like you, Gank That. I'm tired for whatever reason. I'm just tired. I have a bunch of receipts here that I need to take, or that I need to scan in my printer. It's kind of crazy because this printer that I have, that I bought, it just seems, it's very like low grade, right? It was like $70, but the printer that I had before, I had that printer before like for like 5 or 6 years, so it was even more low grade. And this one, it's definitely an improvement in pretty much all ways. Like there's no downside to this printer versus the older one. I like this printer much better. But it's crazy, like they're essentially like on the same tier when they came out, right? Like they're the same like level. So 5 years ago, whenever I got the other one, it's the same level as this one, and it's just such an improvement over that one. But yeah, this one will let me like scan from the actual printer. Like the old one was super fucking annoying because I had to scan from software on the computer. Like it had a scanner in it, but I had to press the scan button on the computer, even though it had a scan button on the fucking. Maybe I was doing something wrong. That's definitely a possibility. Maybe it didn't have a scan button. I mean, it's in my garage still, but I don't really care, honestly. I know that I could not scan it unless I was scanning it from the printer or from the software. But this one, it'll actually let me scan in the school, because it'll let me scan multiple things, like bam, 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 bam. Like I can kind of scan a bunch of things in a row to make life much easier. Before, when I was doing it, it would take so much time to try and scan like receipts and stuff like that, because I want to digitize all my receipts. I don't know why this makes me think of this, what you just said, Gank That. But the mom from Home Alone, I don't know her name. It's like Catherine or something like that. Catherine O'Hara or some shit like that. I don't know. She died. And it's really crazy because when I first like kind of saw her make her, I don't want to call it like a resurgence or comeback or whatever. Like when she was doing Schitt's Creek, I was like, holy shit, she looks fucking old. And I mean, she was old at that time, like in her 60s, or whatever. I don't know when Schitt's Creek came out, but yeah, she looked fucking much older than what she looked like in those. What we know her from Home Alone or whatever. And like, she was like our age in Home Alone. You know what I'm saying? And when I was a kid, looking at her, she was old. But now people look at us and I'm sure we're old. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I don't want to get into that, honestly. But, alright, so we got killed yesterday, man. Yesterday we got killed. We opened a ton of shit. And yeah, just got no hits. Ain't that is a nail on the head. Hopefully I got more than 40 years, but I'd like to get to 90 or so. But so I have this sitting here. I'm not gonna open. This isn't one that I'm gonna open. I actually sold one of these for like $60. I feel like a bit douchey, but I didn't buy that to purposefully sell, like most people did. Not most people, but some people did. But they just increased in value, and I'm sitting on a bunch of them. and I wanted to see if I could sell one, and I ended up selling one for $60. So whatever, I'm gonna sell it. Ooh wee. Nah, I'm fighting. I'm like, stay away, stay away, for as long as I can. I'm gonna see great grandchildren. That's the goal, at least. All right, we're gonna start with one of each. We're gonna start with one of each, and then we will see what happens. If we get a hit or two, then it'll be a really quick stream, and if not, maybe we'll open some more. Maybe we won't. I don't know. I said I was gonna spend today sorting through these packs or whatever, or kind of inventorying my stuff, and I didn't. I didn't feel like it. Am I sweaty? Oh yeah, it's glitter. That stripper's back at it again. No, I went to a daddy-daughter dancing tonight. Yeah. And that's the story. Let's see. Maybe I'll open some packs. Okay. Oh, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. We're not gonna start there. We're gonna start with Riftbound, as one does. Yeah, I am getting to the point where like pretty much all the common cards and then most of the uncommon cards are all ones that I have. So these will be bulk, right? And there'll be ones that I have a play set up and then one. So in Riftbound, a play set is 3, not 4 like it is in One Piece. But I think there's more cards in the deck. I can't remember what the deck size is, but yeah, I kind of like that because it gives you a lot more variation than when you have 4 copies of a card in a deck. Yeah. Hallowed Tomb, the Siren, Void Gate, Wraith of Echoes, Shen, Calm Rune. Alright. I'm pretty sure all that will be bulk. I know Shen is. I don't know about the Wraith of Echoes, but this all looks like it's probably bulk. Alright. Yeah, that's yep, Life of a Girl Dad, man. But this was actually from the dance that we went to. They were doing it at they had like a glitter bar, and they were putting it on the girls, and I just jokingly was like, "Oh, can I get some too?" Blah blah blah. And they were like, "Sure, let's put some on you." So I was like, "Okay, whatever." So that's how that went. All right, so this is OP08. Yes. 2 legends. So we got Tristan, Kraka, 20 Doctors, Burn Bazooka, Rowdy Piper, Ulti, Charlotte Custard, Scratchman Apu, Lapins, Ketokori, and the Black Maria. Maria. This is OP08, right? Sorry, I gotta it up with all the other cards that I need to. I was playing, man, I was playing The Sim a little bit earlier today, and that crocodile deck that I have is just so good. It is, it is, it is too good. So, these words might not mean anything to you guys, um, since you don't play the game or whatever. But there's a leader called Enel, and it is known for being very hard to kill because it there's so much healing in the deck. It just heals, heals, heals. And it's been and Enel is like an older leader. I can't remember when he came out, but he's like in like 9 or 10 or something like that. He's an oldish leader, and he just heals. That's his thing or whatever. And so in my crocodile deck, I heal a lot. I heal a shit ton in the crocodile deck. And so it basically so when you're in the lobbies or whatever, you can either choose like a random match. You can do like a quick play type of deal where it'll just randomly put you up against somebody who's hosting a match or whatever, or you can select from like a list of people that who are hosting games. And excuse me. And so I used to do that all the time, where I would just hit the random play, but I would find that it would you know be a much harder to find games that way, as opposed to it would take a long time to actually like get load into a game. Whereas if you just click on the game, you just find a leader that you want to play against, because it shows what deck they're going to play with. And so it finds, like, once you click on the person, it pretty much loads the game up instantaneously, unless there's some sort of network error. And again, this is just a regular dude who made this app. It's not like a company or anything like that. So the thing screws up sometimes. But anyways, um, so I go. So most of the time, I'll pick a leader that I want to like challenge myself against. Blah blah blah. Long story short, and so I picked an L, and when I was picking them, I was like, okay, this is gonna be a heal off, right? It's gonna be very tough. It's gonna be their healing versus my healing. Who can like last, right? And so it was exactly that. Like, he was healing, but I was healing more, and then he was healing, and then in my deck I played a bunch of big bodies. He had some big bodies too, and it was a very, very good game, and it was actually hilarious because I was almost gonna run out of cards in my deck. So the way the game works is, like, once you pull your last card from your deck, you lose the game. Um, and so I was, it was my turn. It was a start. It was the start of my turn before I drew it. I had 2 cards left, so I drew, and I only had 1 card left. So I was like, okay, I have got to win right now, because when the turn gets passed back to me, I'm gonna lose the game, right? Because I'll draw my last card. So I need to win the game here and now. And I played it just so perfectly. It was magnifique. It was really good. But I won pretty much every game. There was one game that I lost, that I did lose, but it's a very tough deck to play against, and I haven't played it against. I haven't played, so it's the blue purple Luffy. So I haven't played it against. I haven't played against it with my crocodile, and I can definitely beat that deck. I definitely can, but there, like, the purple Luffy is, or the blue purple Luffy is just very large bodies. Like, that is their deck. Like, that's their thing. They're gonna play these massive bodies that are gonna be very hard for you to remove. And there's this new freaking Roger that really is annoying, where when you play it, you give your leader, it's a 10 cost, 10,000 power, but on play, you give your leader plus 2,000 power, and it's already a 6,000 power leader anyway, so it goes from 6 to 8. So it's just very hard to attack into him. But with my deck, I play some big bodies as well, so I can kind of counterbalance that, or counteract that. I mean, but he ended up winning. It was a very close game. I had some misplays that I kind of like think back. I'm like, well, I should have did this. I should have did that. But um, let's see. Um, I mean, we can. gank that. Maybe I have to stream a little bit. Maybe I have to stream a little bit earlier. I mean, what are you doing during the day? I don't know what I'm doing during the day tomorrow. I'd rather do it like spend some time during the day doing it because after you can see like we'll get tired. Yeah, so I mean, they just have large, like high power, right? So this one's 1,000. That's a weak one or zero, 1,000. Like these are very weak characters. So large bodies are, they have like he don't play anything this big, but like this, like 12,000. So to attack into it, it's very hard. Like they play like 9,000 power characters is like their thing. 9,000, and they have this new Roger that just came out. That's 10,000 power. But what they do is there's like a strategy that has come up because there's a secret Sanji that came out in OPO 7 or something like that, an older One Piece. And so they found a way to like it works very well in this Luffy deck because what you do with the Sanji is you when you play him, you flip over the top card of your deck and then you play a character card that has a cost of 9 or less. Um, yeah, nine. It's 9 or less or 10 or less. It's not 10 or less. It can't be, or it can't be. It's either 8 or 9 or less, one of the two. But anyways, you get to play, you know, whatever character, from the top of your deck. You pick up the card on the top of your deck, and you're like, okay, if it's a character, you get to play it. If it's less than 9 or 8, whatever the number is. And so, with Luffy, with this Luffy, his ability is if you have 8 down or more, then before the start of your turn. So before your turn is before you draw, right? Um, so you draw, that starts your turn. But before the start of your turn, you get to look at like the top 5 cards of your deck, and then you get to pick one card. I think it has to be like maybe a Straw Hat card or some shit like that. But you get to pick up a card and then place the cards back on top of the deck in any order. So typically, it's an absolute crazy ability. This deck was like running through the format back in OP11 when it first came out. It was absolutely crazy, and so this is when I first started. And so basically, what people would do is like they look at the top 5 cards from their deck before they get to draw, before their turn starts. They pick a card. So basically, you're drawing 2 cards every turn. Essentially, is what it is, and you get to pick what the fuck you get to draw. So you pick a card, right? And then you get to set your cards however you want them on the top of your deck. The next 5 cards or the next 4 cards because you took one. You get to put them in order. So you know what's the next card on top of your deck. So you play the Sanji and you set a big fucking body on there. So you get to play Sanji, which is a big body. It's like a 9 cost 8,000, 9 cost 9,000 power, or 8 cost 9,000 power. One of the two. It has a 9,000 power, and then from there you're flipping over a 9,000 power character. Is typically what happens. You're playing another 9,000 power character. So they get to big bodies pretty easily if you let it get to that far in the game. Sabo. Monday morning. Shouldn't you be doing something Monday morning? I think you're busy Monday morning, man. But yeah, that's the whole thing with the Luffy, and it was a very good, deck for a long time, and it's still pretty good. But this Luffy or this crocodile deck that I'm playing with now it is absolutely insane. The only thing I'm upset about is like I'm not going to be able to play it for much longer. Like I'll get 2 more months out of it, or whenever in April they go through the rotation when all the block 1 cards can't be played anymore. Man, but at that point, Koala, so in a couple of weeks actually, I'll be able to have Koala. I think Koala comes out on like the 20th or something. But our EBO3, which will have the new Koala in it, which I think will make the deck with my Koala deck much better. But man, this crocodile deck is so fun. I'll have to think of or find something else. I'm not thinking of shit. Like there are too many people out there who theory craft. That's how I found this deck. Like I've watched somebody do a video on it, and I was like, that looks super fun. I played it. I tried it on the sim, and it just wrecks, and it does so well. Um, this is OP12, yeah. So Charlotte, Boa. We're getting some super rares at least. It's not bad. Not bad at all. I have 2 stacks of OP12. Am I just stupid? Yep. I have 2 stacks of OP12. Okay, so I shouldn't have 2 stacks of OP12. That's just OP13. Sorry, I'm trying to get my stuff together. Okay, so this is 12. This is 13. There we go. All right, so 13. Here we go. I do wish I just had a couple more months of this crocodile. Just a couple more. Well, I guess tomorrow I could do my tournament. I have to see. Let's see what my schedule is looking like tomorrow. What the calendar says. Stussy. Because the calendar controls all. Do I have 2 stacks of OP13? No, this has to be OP14. This is PRBO2. Okay, I'm just doing a bad job of keeping these things sorted. Okay, this is PRBO2. Okay. And OP13. Alright. And OP14 is behind me. People do that. Gank that. People do the tournament streams or whatever. I'll think about it. I gotta get like the people's permission and blah blah blah. And I just, maybe it's something to think about. Ooh, very nice. Actually need this card, so I'm happy about that. I think this is I'm pretty sure this is it's either my 3rd or 4th one, but I do not have a lot of these, so I'm actually very, very happy with that. All right, yeah, it's gonna go over here, man. I need to kind of get a list of all the cards I have one of. Let's go. Let's keep going. All right. So at least we're not hitting a bunch of leader packs like we were yesterday. Like we did take most of them out, which is nice. Man, that Scratchman of Pooh, that thing is every freaking where. Okay, Dalton. Ooh, very nice. This is actually super nice. This card is very popular right now. I don't know how many of these I have. I think I may have one of these, if I even have one of these. I'm sure I do have one of these, but this is a very good card. So it's 5 cost, 5,000 power, 1k counter. On play, you may trash a card with a trigger from your hand, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. Then if you have 3 or less cards in your hand, draw 1 card. So basically, if you start the turn, you have 5 cards in your hand, you play this, then it makes you trash a card from your hand, you go down to 3, but you get to replace that card by drawing a card. So very good card, and you get to KO a 5 cost or less. So This is a very, very good card. It's extremely popular right now because one of the most popular cards is this new Luffy, this starter deck 29 Luffy leader that came out. Um, yeah, it's extremely popular because that card gets ran in that deck, but it's very, very popular. I think it's going for like 15 bucks right now, like that level of popularity. And the card is um, old. It's from OP08, so I don't know when OP08 came out. I think probably would have came out in 2024, like the end of 2024 maybe. I'm assuming. From the beginning, good luck, man. No, it doesn't take very long, a couple months. Because the episodes, you know how, anime is like each episode genuinely is like 20 minutes, maybe, right? And that's probably a little less than that with the intro. So I would say a rough guesstimation is like 20 minutes is each episode. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. So it shouldn't be that hard. But the thing is, there's, you know, 1,200 episodes or something like that now. So okay. OP, what is this? OP10, Gold Trido. Killer, Koala, Divine Departure, very good card. Oh, this feels kind of sticky. Ooh, hell yes. That's actually super dope. What was this from? This is from OP10. Very nice. So this is, where the hell's my OP10 at? OP08. God damn it. I don't know why I can't get these. No, I'm sure I did not talk about this one the other day. OP08, OP10. I don't know why. I'm just having so much trouble keeping these cards straight. Okay, OP08. Okay, OP08 goes there. So this is the secret rare law. So this is the only. Okay, so I'll talk about that in a second. So this is the secret rare law from this set, and this is also the alternate art for that. So it's not just the base one; it's the alternate art for the secret rare. So I'll be honest, I do not like this art. Like the art, and I had this card before because I traded for it before, which is kind of funny. I traded for this card, um, because it was, I don't know why I traded for it, but because I did. But I don't really like the art on this card that much. Just being honest, it just looks like one of those books that I read when I was a kid. Just, one of the if you give a mouse a cookie type books. You know what I'm saying? That's what this, like. Obviously, this is way better, but just like it's like if that person who was drawing those cards who were drawing those books, the illustrators for those, like drew these. Like that's what it looks like. Let me try and get. Can't do a like justice, but that's just kind of what this reminds me of. Yeah, so I mean it's a very, very great pull, right? It's the alternate art for a secret rare, which I've only ever pulled one other one ever out of doing this, and it was the alternate ace that I pulled the other day. Or not the other day, but I pulled this like probably a couple months ago. Pulled an alternate ace from OP13. And that's the only one I've ever pulled. So to kind of give you an idea, like the Roger that I have that I talk about all the time, the Goldie Roger that I have, is also. I'm trying to think, did I trade this card or did I send it in to get graded? I don't know, but this is actually pretty dope. I'm actually happy with that because it's just been a struggle. It's just been a struggle for some of these cards. You feel me? So I'm happy with that. I'll take that. All right, we'll go through a couple more, and then we'll call it. and we will call it. That's actually a really good hit. I'm actually pumped about that. Okay, I think that's called Royal Blood. Hmm. What do you mean? Um, okay, that law is going for like $42 right now. So that's actually dope. It's actually pretty dope. 'Cause I know it was going for like 10, $15 maybe back in the day. It's just one of those preference things. Like I do not like the art on that card. There are just, I would say, 99.9% of the cards that I've ever seen, I really like the art on, and then there's some, there's some that go surpass that I'm just like in love with that I think is absolutely amazing. But then that 0.1% of cards, I just do not like the artwork. Like we talked about some of them before. This is one of those cards. For whatever reason, this is one of those cards. Like all these cards, like there are no cards in here that I like. I look at it and I'm like, I just don't like the way they did that. Like there's enough like the Rage the is it Reiju? Yeah, the Reiju. The Vinsmoke Reiju, there's one that I just hate the way that they made that artwork. It's from like I think that's from like OP13 or maybe it's OP12. It just sucks. It looks horrible. I do not like it. That's this one. That's this one. Shanks a lot. Both burst. Both burst though. Alright, we got a 13. Yeah, we'll open these last two. We'll open a 13 and then a 14. Sunny Kuhn. Guess we'll have another scrap. Alright. Venus. Yamato. Alrighty. Last pack. This is OP14. Lucky. I don't think we're gonna get luckier than that law that we opened. That's definitely the star of the show tonight. It absolutely is. And we hit a bunch of super rares too. So especially after yesterday, like that was, yesterday was rough. But again, it happens. Wah wah blah blah. Yeah, it's a okay, yeah, so this Nami is selling for 13.10. Sorry, I was just thinking about the quote unquote hits. Marguerite. Coffin Boat. Kaido. Miss Valentine. Alright. OP14. Oh yeah, that's this massive son of a bitch back here. Alright, so let's take a peek. We will take a peek. Again, it just looks very, very weird, especially for like I understand. I feel like I understand what, the artwork is very unique. It is extremely unique. But I just don't like the execution of it. I really don't like the execution of the art on this card. But there's no need to harp on it. It's fine. This is actually a very, very, very crazy pull. Like it really is. This is one that I have had before, which sucks because I didn't open it. Like I traded for it, right? And I don't trade much ever. Like I've barely traded for any cards ever. I think this might have been one of the first cards that I ever traded for. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, this might be one of the first cards that I ever traded for. I had like a Yamato or something like that, and I traded for this. And again, I'm trying to think if I still have this card, or if I sent it off to get graded, or if I sold it or something. I don't remember. Maybe I don't know. But well, worst case scenario, I have two of them, and again, they're going for $40 right now, so I'm not upset about that. No, that you're 100% thinking of a different card because I've only pulled one alternate secret rare, and it was the Sabo. Or excuse me, it was the Ace that I pulled. I've never pulled another alternate art for this. I did have one before, again, because I traded for it. I know that I traded for this card. But yeah, but again, this it's still I am doing it a disservice. I will tell you that right now. I'm doing it a disservice. This is like a very good pull. It's an alternate. Not only is it a secret rare, but it's an alternate art on a secret rare. So it is a very, very good pull. Um, so I do not want to sell this card short. It is a very, and I do think that this card has some potential because we've seen the alternate art card for the illustration box sixes that have the Rosinante and the Law in them, right? And so in OP14, or excuse me, in OP12, Rosinante, there's a Rosinante leader that's purple and yellow, and it uses this card. So and I've seen a little bit of traction, not a whole lot. It was just like a couple of videos that I saw for that Law, or for that Rosinante. Excuse me. Yeah, I've only seen a little bit of I've seen a little bit of traction for that Rosinante. So if that card ever were to, or if that deck ever gets good by any means, this is a very good card. So 7,000 power, or excuse me, 7 cost, 9,000 power. Dressrosa Supernova's Heart Pirates. On play, reveal up to one Supernova's type character card from your hand and add it to the top of your life cards. Face down, then give up to one Restodon card to one of your Supernova's type leaders. So it just, like, I understand power creep and all that shit. It makes sense, but this card isn't that old, and that effect just seems so mid. Yeah, it just seems so mid. Like, on play, reveal up to one Supernova's type character card from your hand and add it to the top of your life cards. So I mean, I guess you get to set what the card is from your hand. So you play a big body for 7. You're able to gain a life, and again, you get to pick what card it is from your hand. So it's not just a random card from the top of your life, or excuse me, from the top of your deck. It's a card that you can place there, but it has to be Supernovas. Like that part screws it up. Like, it's very Supernovas based, and that actually, so if they come out with like a yellow Supernovas type leader, I wonder if this new Luffy Supernovas. Let me look and see. ST29 Egghead. Let me see what this Luffy is. No, he's Egghead. Excuse me, Egghead for Emperor Straw Hat Crew. So we can't even use it here. But if there's probably I know that there's probably got to be some sort of Supernova's yellow card, but leader. But yeah, if this card was in a Supernova's leader deck, I could see it being okay, but it just, like the Kuma that is so, and obviously this is like a unicorn because it's such a good card, but the OP12 Kuma that is absolutely amazing, that was going for like $80, a week ago per card. that card, on play, trash a card from your hand, gain a life. There's no stipulations, there's nothing behind it. It's just trash a card from your hand and gain a life. You don't have to have a certain type of leader. You don't have to put a certain type of card up there. It's nothing like that. And then on KO, when he gets KO'd, you get to gain another life. So that makes sense to me as far as like why that card would be a secret rare. Like that is an extremely powerful card. This card just doesn't have that same, je ne sais quoi. It's just, you know, there are other cards that do this, right? And probably that do it much better, right? Just gain a life. So I don't, yeah. And then, then give up to one Rested Dawn card to your Supernova type leader. You can't give it to a character. You have to give it to your leader, and your leader has to be Supernovas. Like if I could see that this card could be a very, very powerful secret rare if they didn't stipulate the Supernovas in it. Just reveal up to one character card from your hand, add it to the top of your life cards, face down. Then give one Rested Dawn card to one of your leaders. Like that would make this card so much better. Obviously, it's too late now. The card's printed and all that stuff, and I'm sure that they have their reasoning, but whatever. I'm done bitching. Oh, come on, Gank that. You got this guy in here. Yeah, there we go. Very nice. Nice work. Get that guy. You're out of here. We got to do something like that when we like ban somebody like that. We got to get like some sort of like, you're out of here type of deal, like a baseball call or something. Yeah, but anywho, thank you guys for watching. My back is itching like crazy for some reason. I'm super appreciative, grateful for you, and Gank that. Let's figure out some time to do that sim tomorrow. But other than that, that would work for a you're out of here. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to look into it. But thank you guys. I'm grateful to you, and have a good night. All right.